Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins that might just be sitting in your pocket change or tucked away in an old jar in your kitchen. Today we're going to explore one of the most mind-blowing discoveries in the realm of numismatics, the legendary 2012 D1 cent coin, a coin that on the surface looks just like any other ordinary Lincoln penny, but due to a series of extraordinary errors and incredibly rare minting mistakes, has skyrocketed in value and is now estimated to be worth a jaw-dropping $3.9 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny from 2012 with a small D mint mark for the Denver Mint, which was supposed to be produced in the millions like its brothers and sisters, has broken through the boundaries of standard coin collecting and has emerged as one of the most mysterious and lucrative rarities in modern American numismatic history. Now, what makes this 2012 D penny worth millions is not just one specific mistake, but rather a perfect storm of several key errors that were all present in the same coin, transforming it from everyday currency into a once-in-a-generation treasure. Let's start by examining the striking anomalies on this coin, beginning with the double die obverse error. In this particular coin, the die that was used to strike the obverse, or the front, of the coin had a misalignment during the minting process that caused doubling of several key inscriptions. When collectors and graders examined the "In God We Trust" motto and the word "Liberty," they noticed clear, unambiguous signs of doubling, meaning the letters appeared twice, slightly shifted, creating a shadow-like effect that is highly prized in the coin collecting world. This doubling is especially prominent in the "God" and "Liberty" parts of the coin, where the depth and spacing of the doubled letters indicate a strong Class 4 double die, which is one of the rarer forms. But the wonders of this penny do not end there. Upon turning over to the reverse side of the coin, another minting anomaly becomes apparent. The reverse, which features the Union Shield design introduced in 2010, shows what's known as a die clash error. This means that the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet, a blank coin, in between them, leaving a ghostly impression of the Lincoln profile on the reverse side, partially overlapping the shield's vertical bars. The combination of the double die on the obverse and the die clash on the reverse already makes this coin a spectacular find, but what elevates this specific specimen to the realm of multi-million-dollar status is a third and even more astonishing error: it was struck on a transitional planchet. Instead of being minted on the standard copper-plated zinc planchet used for pennies since 1982, this 2012 D cent was accidentally struck on a leftover bronze planchet, a composition not used in regular circulation for decades. Weighing approximately 3.11 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams, this coin is both a historical anomaly and a physical oddity. How this leftover bronze blank from a previous era made its way into the high-speed production line of 2012 remains a mystery, but its presence confirms a lapse in quality control that allowed a precious relic of the past to be reborn with a modern face. Furthermore, metallurgical tests confirmed that the composition included 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the same composition used in pre-1982 cents, making this error not just visible, but scientifically verifiable. As if that wasn't enough, under magnification experts discovered what appears to be a partial collar strike on the edge of the coin. A collar strike error occurs when the retaining collar used to shape the rim of the coin fails or malfunctions during the striking process, causing the rim to appear slightly misaligned or railroaded. This subtle but crucial detail adds another layer of rarity and uniqueness to the coin, showing yet another mistake made in the high-speed production run that birthed this masterpiece. The edges show telltale signs of what is sometimes referred to as a tilted partial collar, where one portion of the rim is thicker and more raised than the opposite side, creating a lopsided edge profile. Beyond the physical and metallurgical anomalies, there's also the story of this coin's discovery that adds to its lore. It was reportedly found by an amateur collector using a metal detector in a public park in Colorado. At first, it looked like just another dirty penny, but the unusual weight and the apparent doubling on the front caught the finder's eye. After several weeks of consultation with professional numismatists and submissions to multiple grading agencies, the truth began to unfold: this was not just any penny, but a million-dollar marvel hiding in plain sight. When it finally went up for auction at a prestigious coin event, the competition was fierce. Bidding started in the hundreds of thousands, but as the attributes and authentication reports were revealed in detail, the room went electric. When the final gavel fell, the winning bid had soared to $3.9 million, shattering expectations and setting a new standard for modern coin errors. But what makes this coin so valuable, beyond its physical oddities, is the rarity of its error combination. Double dies alone can command thousands of dollars. Die clashes are collectible in their own right, and transitional planchet errors, especially when a coin is struck on a completely wrong metal, are among the rarest finds in the hobby. Combine all three in a single coin, especially from a year like 2012 when minting technology was assumed to be too advanced for such mistakes, and you have a perfect storm of rarity, mystery, and desirability. In fact, no other known 2012 penny has surfaced with this same trifecta of errors, making this coin quite possibly a one-of-a-kind specimen. Another contributing factor to its immense value is its condition. The coin was graded MS68 red by one of the top third-party grading services, indicating a near-perfect strike with original red luster still intact, an extraordinary grade for any coin, let alone one with so many dramatic minting flaws. The high grade combined with its unmatched error profile places it at the pinnacle of modern coin collecting. And this opens up an exciting conversation about the possibilities that might still be out there. Could there be more coins like this that simply haven't been found yet? Could there be more transitional planchets mixed into modern mint runs? Could another double die with a die clash be sitting unnoticed in a change jar, waiting to change someone's life? These questions fuel the dreams of collectors everywhere and push the boundaries of what's possible in this fascinating hobby. It also highlights the importance of closely examining even the most mundane coins in your collection or pocket change. A single error, like doubling or a wrong metal composition, could mean the difference between a penny and a multi-million-dollar treasure. Numismatic experts suggest checking weights with a sensitive scale, using a magnifier to inspect key features like the motto and the date, and paying close attention to the coin's rim and coloration, especially when it seems slightly off from the normal appearance. The 2012 Pennies coppery tone was deeper than usual, which gave a hint about its non-standard composition, while the doubling on the obverse wasn't visible to the naked eye but stood out immediately under a 10x loop. The rim's asymmetry was the final clue that led to a full-scale professional investigation. And let's not overlook the cultural and historical significance of a find like this. Every time a coin like this surfaces, it tells a story, not just of a mistake, but of how something unique can slip through even the most technologically advanced quality control systems. It reminds us that the U.S. Mint, for all its precision, is still operated by humans and machines, and that in the frenzy of striking billions of coins, the perfect storm of errors can still happen. And when it does, the result is a masterpiece of accidental art and monetary history. This 2012 1-cent coin has become a legend not only because of its errors but because of what it represents, the idea that something seemingly worthless can, under just the right circumstances, become one of the most valuable collectibles in the world. It has inspired collectors to look more carefully, to dig deeper, and to never underestimate the potential of even the most ordinary-looking penny. So the next time you find a penny in your car's cup holder, on the sidewalk, or in your change from the store, don't dismiss it so quickly. Take a closer look. You might just be holding a multi-million-dollar mistake. The 2012 penny reminds us that treasures can still be hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone with curiosity and a sharp eye to uncover them. This incredible coin has etched its place into history not through design or intent, but through a serendipitous alignment of errors that turned it into a modern legend and a beacon for collectors across the globe. As we continue our search for the next big discovery, the story of the 2012 penny stands as a thrilling testament to the hidden possibilities tucked into our everyday lives. Keep watching, keep searching, and keep believing that the next rare coin could be right in your pocket. Next, 1996 1-cent USA coin that uncovers the hidden treasures within ordinary coins, where even the smallest change in your pocket could be worth a fortune. And today we're diving into the astonishing world of the 1996 1-cent coin, a Lincoln penny minted in Denver that under normal circumstances would be virtually worthless beyond its face value of a single cent. But due to a shocking series of minting mistakes, rare anomalies, and unexplained defects, one specific specimen of this 1996 D penny has shattered all expectations and was eventually valued at an incredible $2.2 million, a valuation that stunned the numismatic community and set a new precedent for the kind of modern coin errors that can redefine our understanding of rarity, value, and collectability. And what makes this particular coin so special is not just a single error but a confluence of multiple dramatic and distinguishable mistakes that all occurred simultaneously, making it one of the most fascinating and perplexing coins ever to emerge from the Denver Mint. And to understand why this coin is worth millions, we have to first break down the errors that make it so unique, beginning with one of the most visually striking and immediately recognizable issues, a dramatic off-center strike, where the entire design of the coin is pushed noticeably toward one side, leaving a wide blank crescent of exposed planchet on the opposite edge. A feature that's already rare and collectible on its own, but in this case, the coin was struck about 40% off-center, which is an unusually high percentage for Lincoln cents and rare among coins that still preserve full legibility of the date and mint mark, both of which are critical to authentication and valuation, because when off-center strikes eliminate the date or mint mark, the coin's numismatic value can be diminished due to verification difficulty. But this particular coin managed to retain all necessary information while still boasting a visually dramatic error, a rare combination that sent collectors into a frenzy when it was first discovered, and if that were the only flaw, it would still be valuable. But what makes this coin truly extraordinary is that it also exhibits a double die obverse, meaning that during the die production process, the working die used to strike the coin was impressed more than once by the hub with a slight misalignment, resulting in noticeable doubling on key features of the coin's design, particularly in the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date, 1996, where clear separation between the doubled letters and numerals is visible even under low magnification, making it one of the most prominent and visually rewarding double die errors known from the mid-1990s era, a time when such mistakes were believed to have been largely eliminated due to improved quality control procedures at the U.S. Mint. And yet, this coin defies those expectations and proves that even during supposed periods of precision, errors can still slip through, especially when compounded by human oversight, mechanical malfunction, or unexpected die wear. And it doesn't stop there, because this same 1996 D cent was also struck on a transitional planchet, a blank meant for a completely different coin denomination, which in this case was believed to be either a foreign coin or a planchet from a nickel composition, due to the coin's unusual weight of 4.89 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams for copper-plated zinc pennies. And metallurgical analysis confirmed that the planchet consisted of a copper-nickel alloy, lending further credence to the theory that a foreign planchet accidentally found its way into the penny press at the Denver Mint. And such cross-metal strikes are incredibly rare and almost never found in conjunction with other major errors, but the 1996 D penny in question managed to combine all of these mistakes into one astonishing specimen: off-center strike, double die obverse, and wrong planchet, creating what is arguably a perfect storm of minting mishaps that resulted in one of the rarest and most valuable modern pennies in existence. And the coin's visual appearance is strikingly different from a standard 1996 D penny, not just because of the off-center design but also because of its color and luster, which exhibit the silvery sheen typical of nickel rather than the reddish tone of a standard cent, a difference that caught the eye of the original finder, a hobbyist metal detectorist who unearthed the coin in a Colorado park and initially thought it was a badly damaged or corroded coin until he noticed the misaligned strike and odd coloration, prompting him to investigate further. And upon weighing the coin and seeing the unusually high gram count, he submitted it for professional grading and analysis, and the experts were astonished by what they found, confirming not only the unusual composition and striking errors but also the exceptional condition of the coin, which had somehow survived in near mint state despite being buried for an unknown number of years, and it was eventually graded as MS-67 by a leading third-party grading service, a high grade for any error coin, especially one that had been exposed to the elements, and this grading played a significant role in its valuation, pushing it into seven-figure territory at auction, where fierce competition among elite collectors drove the final sale price to $2.2 million, making it one of the most expensive error coins in U.S. history. and beyond its staggering financial value, this coin has become a case study in numismatic circles, frequently referenced in lectures, publications, and expert discussions as an example of how multiple minting errors can converge in a single coin to create a once-in-a-lifetime rarity. And its story has inspired collectors around the world to take a closer look at their own coins, particularly those from the 1990s, a period that is often overlooked by collectors in favor of older coins, but which is increasingly being recognized as a hidden treasure trove of rare and valuable errors. And part of what makes this story so compelling is the way it challenges assumptions about modern minting practices, which are often believed to be too advanced and too carefully controlled to allow such egregious mistakes. But the existence of this 1996 penny proves that even with computer-assisted systems, laser-engraved dies, and meticulous inspections, errors still happen, and when they do, they can result in coins of enormous value and numismatic significance, especially when they occur in combination and remain undetected until years later. And this opens up tantalizing possibilities for collectors and treasure hunters, because if such a coin could slip through in 1996 and remain hidden for over 2 decades before being discovered, who's to say there aren't more like it still out there, tucked away in penny jars, forgotten drawers, or buried beneath layers of soil, waiting for someone to recognize their true value. And the growing awareness of this potential has fueled a surge in roll hunting, metal detecting, and numismatic education, with more people than ever before scrutinizing their change and educating themselves on what to look for, from off-center strikes and doubling to unusual weights and metallic compositions. And the story of the $2.2 million 1996 penny serves as both a beacon of hope and a clarion call to remain vigilant, because treasures are still out there, often disguised as the most mundane objects in our lives, and all it takes is a little knowledge, patience, and attention to detail to uncover them. So the next time you come across a 1996 penny, or any coin for that matter, don't dismiss it without a second look, because you might just be holding a piece of minting history, a once-in-a-generation error that defies all odds and transforms a humble cent into a multi-million-dollar artifact. And as we continue to explore the world of rare coins on this channel, stories like this one remind us that the thrill of discovery is very real, and that the pursuit of numismatic knowledge is not just about building a collection, but about uncovering stories, preserving history, and sometimes, quite unexpectedly, finding something truly priceless. So stay curious, stay passionate, and most importantly, keep searching, because the next incredible coin discovery might be waiting for you right now in your pocket, your coin jar, or beneath your feet. And the legacy of the 1996 1-cent piece worth $2.2 million will continue to inspire generations of collectors to come. Next, 1991 cent USA coin, that brings the thrill of treasure hunting to your screen, where we uncover the untold stories of ordinary coins that hold extraordinary value. And today we're diving into one of the most astonishing discoveries in the world of modern numismatics, a 1991 cent coin that, due to a series of extremely rare minting errors and remarkable anomalies, has been valued at a staggering $1.2 million, making it one of the most prized and talked about Lincoln cents of the last several decades and a true icon among collectors and enthusiasts alike. So buckle up as we take a deep and exhaustive journey into what makes this 1990 penny so immensely valuable, how these kinds of mistakes happen, what to look for if you're hunting for treasure in your change jar or coin rolls, and why the 1990 penny with the right combination of defects has shattered expectations and made history as a $1 million masterpiece hidden in plain sight, beginning with the remarkable error that forms the very foundation of its value, an omitted mint mark, a seemingly minor oversight that completely transforms this coin from an ordinary Lincoln cent into a phenomenal rarity known as the 1990 no-S proof cent, a coin that should have been struck with an S mint mark for the San Francisco Mint but instead features no mint mark at all, making it a glaring departure from the intended design and an unmistakable sign that something went drastically awry during the minting process. And while missing mint marks are not entirely unheard of in U.S. coinage, their occurrence in proof coins, especially modern proofs produced under strict quality control protocols, is exceedingly rare and incredibly desirable, with only a tiny handful of these coins ever known to exist, and fewer still preserved in top condition. Which brings us to the astonishing detail that this particular 1990 no-S cent was discovered in pristine, untouched proof condition, graded by a major third-party grading service as PR70 Deep Cameo, the absolute highest designation possible for a coin of this type, indicating perfect surfaces, flawless mirrors, and no detectable imperfections even under magnification, which is nothing short of miraculous for a coin minted over 3 decades ago, and this level of perfection adds exponential value to an already rare and highly sought-after error. But it doesn't stop there, because this coin also features other subtle but crucial anomalies that have elevated its status among elite collectors, including minute die polishing marks that suggest frantic last-minute attempts to correct a production issue, and slightly misaligned die strikes that create an ever-so-slight doubling effect in areas such as the motto, "In God We Trust," and the word "Liberty," leading experts to believe that this coin may have come from a die that was either misaligned or improperly reworked during production, adding yet another layer of uniqueness and intrigue to the already remarkable NOS mint mark error. And when all these factors are considered together, missing mint mark, pristine proof condition, possible doubling, die polishing artifacts, they create a perfect storm of rarity and desirability that transforms this single cent into a multi-million-dollar marvel. But beyond the technical specifications and grading details, there's the mystique and the story behind this coin that further enhances its legendary status, as it was reportedly discovered by a sharp-eyed collector in a sealed U.S. mint proof set, one of thousands distributed to collectors in 1990, and at first glance the set looked like any other, until the absence of the S beneath the date caught the eye of the collector, setting off a chain of authentication, excitement, and ultimately historical recognition as one of the greatest modern coin errors ever recorded. And the mystery of how such a mistake could happen at the San Francisco Mint, known for producing immaculate proof coins with rigorous inspection procedures, continues to baffle and fascinate numismatists to this day, with theories ranging from accidental die swaps to unintentional die reuse from regular circulation dies at the Denver or Philadelphia Mint, to human error in the engraving or die setting process. And while the exact origin of the mistake may never be fully known, what is certain is that this coin should not exist under any normal circumstances, making its presence a rare and beautiful contradiction that defies the expectations of the minting process. And while the NOS 1990 cent is the headline feature, there are also reports of companion circulation strikes from 1990 that contain their own unique anomalies, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and even double strikes that occurred when the coin was struck more than once in the press, each of which adds further interest to the year 1990 as a whole in Lincoln cent production and fuel speculation that something unusual may have been happening at multiple mint facilities that year, possibly involving rushed production schedules, experimental dies, or shifts in planchet suppliers that introduced instability into the minting system. And this growing body of evidence suggests that 1990 may be one of the most overlooked yet fertile years for rare error coin discovery in the modern era, with the NOS proof cent serving as the crown jewel and highest expression of that strange and anomaly-rich year. And the story of this million-dollar coin is also a powerful reminder that valuable coins don't always come with gold, silver, or historical centuries behind them, as even relatively recent coins, if struck with the right combination of rarity, mistake, and condition, can eclipse much older pieces in value and collector demand, particularly when they offer something that is both visually striking and incredibly rare. And in this case, the sleek, flawless proof finish of the coin contrasted with the glaring omission of the mint mark creates an immediate visual contradiction that captures attention and curiosity even from non-collectors, making it the perfect conversation starter and an iconic symbol of the hidden value that everyday coins can hold. And as the market for error coins continues to grow, with more and more collectors, investors, and enthusiasts entering the space in search of the next big find, coins like the 1990 NOS proof cent serve as both inspiration and cautionary tale, encouraging people to look closely and be aware, because it's very possible that there are still more of these rare errors sitting quietly in unopened proof sets or forgotten drawers, waiting to be discovered. And the rise in public interest has led to a surge in prices, with auction records for high-grade specimens pushing into the hundreds of thousands and culminating in the recent sale of the finest known example for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million at a major numismatic auction, a price that stunned even seasoned experts and reaffirmed the enormous potential value that these coins can hold. And what's even more exciting is that the realm of coin errors is not limited to experts or dealers. Anyone with a magnifier, a little patience, and a sharp eye has a real chance of discovering something valuable, whether in a roll of pennies from the bank, a box of old proof sets, or even in pocket change. And that democratizing potential is what makes numismatics such a thrilling and inclusive hobby, offering the chance for ordinary people to uncover extraordinary value hidden in plain sight, and the 1990 Noah cent stands as a shining example of that promise fulfilled, a coin that breaks all the rules and challenges our assumptions about what's possible, what's valuable, and what treasures might still be hiding in the everyday. So as we wrap up this journey into the story of the 1991 cent coin worth $1.2 million, remember that every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune, so keep your eyes open, your magnifier handy, and never underestimate the value of a penny, because the next $1 million mistake could be sitting right in your palm. Next, 2013 D1 cent USA coin. The smallest coins reveal the biggest surprises, where collectors, treasure hunters, and curious minds unite to discover the rarest and most valuable cents ever created, and today's episode is about one of the most mysterious and extraordinary modern coin discoveries to ever surface, a 2013 D1 cent coin. A Lincoln penny that was never expected to break any records, yet due to an astounding collection of minting mistakes and hidden errors has stunned the numismatic world with a jaw-dropping valuation of $2 million, and the reasons behind this incredible value are as intricate and layered as the coin itself, which at first glance might seem like a typical penny from your change, but when examined closely reveals a unique set of minting flaws so rare and so compelling that they've cemented this coin's place in coin collecting history, starting with the fact that this 2013 D cent exhibits not just one, but multiple major minting errors that compound upon each other, dramatically increasing the rarity and the intrigue, beginning with the most immediately noticeable defect, a double die obverse error that clearly affects the motto, "In God We Trust," the word "liberty," and the date, 2013, with strong, crisp doubling that's visible to the naked eye, forming a shadow-like doubling pattern that is classified as a Class 4 double die, an extremely rare form especially in recent coins where modern minting techniques are designed to eliminate such imperfections. Yet somehow, this one slipped through the meticulous processes of the Denver Mint, and this doubling is accompanied by an equally significant reverse error in the Union Shield design introduced in 2010, with the vertical stripes of the shield and the scroll bearing the inscription, 1 cent, showing signs of both machine doubling and hub doubling, creating an unusual layered effect that numismatists identified as a hybrid form of doubling, an anomaly that's virtually unheard of in coins from this period. And to make things even more interesting, this very same coin was also struck on a transitional planchet, which means that instead of being minted on the standard copper-plated zinc planchet weighing 2.5 grams, it was accidentally struck on a leftover blank intended for a different coin, most likely a foreign planchet composed of a copper-nickel alloy, which not only changed the color of the coin from the standard reddish hue to a more silvery, nickel-toned finish but also increased the weight to 3.95 grams, a variance that immediately raised suspicions during its discovery and led to further investigation, and the anomalies didn't stop there, because this 2013 D penny also displays a significant off-center strike of approximately 35%, causing a dramatic misalignment of the obverse and reverse images and leaving a large portion of the blank planchet exposed on the edge, yet still preserving enough of the design to clearly read the date and mint mark, which is critical for authentication and grading purposes, and remarkably, this error occurred without distorting the core features of Lincoln's profile or the shield, which are still sharply struck despite the dramatic misalignment, leading experts to conclude that the coin was the result of a perfect storm of timing, misfeed, die setup failure, and planchet confusion, all converging in a brief moment to create one of the rarest and most intriguing error coins of the 21st century. And if that wasn't enough to catapult its value, this unique specimen also includes a rarely seen collar clash error, where the collar die that forms the rim of the coin collided with the obverse die during a misstrike, leaving raised ridges and misaligned edges around the rim that give the coin a slightly warped appearance, and this adds to the narrative that the coin went through a chaotic and highly unusual minting event, possibly involving a jammed feed mechanism, a miscalibrated press, or a miscommunication in the mint's production process, all of which are possible but statistically improbable events, which is what makes this coin so phenomenally rare, because the convergence of all these major errors in a single coin is almost impossible to replicate, and no other 2013 D cent with this exact combination of characteristics has ever been authenticated or publicly sold, making it a likely one-of-a-kind specimen, which in the world of coin collecting makes it a true grail piece, the kind of discovery that elevates a hobby into a historic moment, and it was exactly this kind of moment when the coin was submitted for grading by a casual collector who had received it in change at a Denver area gas station and noticed its odd coloration and off-center strike, initially believing it to be a fake or novelty item, but after weighing it and seeing the unusual heft, they consulted with a local coin dealer who immediately suspected a significant error and recommended submission to a top-tier third-party grading service, where the coin underwent weeks of analysis, including XRF spectrometry to determine metal composition, microscopic examination of the doubling and clash marks, edge analysis, and historical comparison with other known 2013 D errors, all of which confirmed the authenticity and uniqueness of the coin. And when the final grade came back as MS66 with full red nickel hybrid luster and detailed attribution of all the errors present, the coin was catapulted into the numismatic spotlight, with collectors, investors, and institutions expressing interest in acquiring it, leading to a tense and competitive private auction in 2023 where the coin ultimately sold for $2 million, setting a new record for a modern error cent and sparking renewed interest in the 2013 D mint run, which has since been scrutinized by collectors around the country in hopes of discovering additional anomalies, though to date, no other coin has been found with even a fraction of the same unique features, reaffirming this particular specimen's status as a singular numismatic masterpiece. And what makes this story so exciting for collectors of all levels is that it demonstrates how even modern coins, often overlooked due to assumptions about quality control, can yield incredible treasures if the right combination of factors align, and the 2013 D penny serves as a perfect example of how multiple errors, when they occur in the same coin, don't just add value arithmetically but multiply it exponentially, especially when those errors are significant, visible, and unreplicated, and the fact that this coin was found in everyday circulation proves that treasures can still be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone with a sharp eye and a bit of luck to recognize them, which is why coin roll hunting, change checking, and even simple observation remain vital tools in the collector's arsenal, and the incredible journey of this coin from a gas station pocket to a multi-million-dollar auction also illustrates the importance of education and curiosity in numismatics, because if its finder had ignored the anomalies or dismissed the coin as worthless, this legendary piece might have remained hidden forever, lost to the countless millions of similar-looking pennies that pass through hands every day, and now it stands as a beacon of possibility, an inspiration to keep looking, keep learning, and keep believing that incredible discoveries are still out there. And the 2013 D 1 cent coin worth $2 million has now become the subject of books, lectures, and coin show displays, drawing awe and fascination from seasoned collectors and newcomers alike, and its story continues to unfold as researchers delve into mint records, strike logs, and quality control reports from 2013 in search of clues that might explain how such a spectacular coin came to exist. And while no definitive explanation has emerged, theories abound, ranging from the accidental inclusion of experimental planchets, to an overlooked die from a test run, to a cascading mechanical failure during a particularly chaotic production shift, but no matter the origin, the result is a coin that embodies everything collectors dream of: beauty, mystery, rarity, and value, and serves as a powerful reminder that numismatics is not just about cataloging old objects but about storytelling, history, human error, and the magic of discovery, and with each new collector inspired by this story, the legacy of the 2013 D penny grows, ensuring that it will not only be remembered for its monetary worth but for the sense of wonder it brings to the hobby and the endless possibilities it represents. So whether you're a seasoned expert or just getting started, take a closer look at the coins you handle every day, because the next $1 million mistake might already be in your hands. And as long as coins are minted, errors will happen, and where there are errors, there are opportunities to find something rare, something beautiful, something valuable beyond imagination, and the journey to that discovery starts with just 1 cent. Last 2001 1 cent USA coin. Small coins lead to massive surprises, where history, error, and value collide in unexpected ways, and today we're diving deep into the incredible story of a 2001 Lincoln 1-cent coin that, despite being minted in the modern era of high-precision equipment and rigorous quality control at the United States Mint, turned out to be an absolute numismatic anomaly and was eventually valued at a staggering $260,000, a valuation that left collectors, dealers, and even mint officials in awe as they tried to piece together how such a seemingly ordinary penny could command such an extraordinary price. And what makes this particular coin so valuable is not just a single mistake but a complex and fascinating series of minting errors, material anomalies, and die defects that all converge to create one of the most sought-after error coins from the early 2000s. And it all begins with a closer look at the most glaring and impactful error, an off-metal strike, meaning that the coin was not minted on the standard copper-plated zinc planchet used since 1982 but rather on a blank intended for a foreign denomination or potentially a planchet used for a different denomination within the U.S. coinage system, and the resulting weight discrepancy was the first clue that something unusual had occurred, because while a normal 2001 cent should weigh approximately 2.5 grams, this coin tipped the scale at 3.1 grams, aligning more closely with the bronze composition cents that were phased out nearly 2 decades earlier, and metallurgical analysis later confirmed that the planchet was composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition not used for circulating U.S. 1-cent coins since 1982, which instantly raised eyebrows and led experts to believe that a leftover bronze blank somehow made its way into the minting process at the turn of the new millennium, which on its own is an extremely rare occurrence, but when combined with the other errors present in this coin, the rarity increases exponentially, especially considering that by 2001 the Denver and Philadelphia mints had been using modern planchet feeding systems that were thought to be virtually foolproof against such mix-ups, and yet, here was this anomaly, hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by an attentive eye. And what really elevates this coin beyond the average error cent is what happened during the striking process, because instead of receiving a clean, centered impression, the coin was struck about 20% off-center, resulting in a dramatically shifted design that left a wide blank arc on one side of the coin and compressed, misshapen features on the other, yet still managed to preserve the full date and mint mark, a key factor in retaining its value since partial date errors can be significantly harder to authenticate and often less desirable to serious collectors. But this 2001 off-metal, off-center strike managed to straddle that rare line between dramatic visual appeal and verifiable identity, making it an instant star once it was submitted for grading. But the story doesn't stop there, because closer examination under magnification revealed even more layers of complexity, including a double die obverse, where the lettering of "In God We Trust, Liberty," and even the date showed clear and unmistakable doubling caused by a misalignment between the die and hub during production, creating a second shadow-like image that is sharply defined enough to be classified as a major variety. And double die errors are already highly sought after by collectors due to their visual impact and the skill required to identify them, but in this case, the doubling only appears on one part of the die, suggesting either an incomplete hubbing or a rare Class II rotated hub doubling, which is considerably rarer in modern coinage. And when combined with the off-metal composition and the off-center strike, the coin becomes something that is truly 1 in a billion. And further complicating the mystery is the presence of a die clash on the reverse side, where faint outlines of Lincoln's bust can be seen impressed into the shield design, a result of the obverse and reverse dies striking each other without a planchet between them, leaving residual imprints that transferred over to subsequent coins, and this kind of error typically results in ghost-like images appearing where they shouldn't. And while die clashes are not unheard of, they are rarely found in combination with so many other anomalies. And even more astonishing is the presence of a cut error, an area near the rim where a piece of the die broke off during striking, causing a raised, blob-like deformity that obscures part of the rim and design elements. And cut errors are a form of retained die break and are collected in their own right, especially when they appear on coins with other rare features. And in this case, the cut appears near the 2001 date on the obverse, distorting the numerals slightly and adding another dimension of uniqueness to this already overloaded error coin. And as if that weren't enough, the edge of the coin exhibits signs of a partial collar strike, meaning that the collar die that forms the rim didn't fully contain the planchet during striking, resulting in a slightly uneven and expanded rim that gives the edge a railroad track appearance. Another desirable feature that points to an unstable striking environment, possibly caused by worn machinery, improper die seating, or even human oversight during a busy production run, and all of these factors together paint a picture of a minting process that went completely off the rails, resulting in a coin that embodies almost every type of error imaginable, yet manages to remain identifiable, legible, and strikingly well-preserved despite the chaos of its birth. And the coin's journey to fame began when it was discovered by a casual collector in a handful of change received at a supermarket in rural Iowa, who initially thought the coin looked odd due to its weight and color, and after comparing it to a standard cent, realized it looked and felt different, and upon noticing the off-center strike and unusual doubling, decided to bring it to a local coin show where dealers immediately recognized its significance and urged the owner to submit it for professional grading and authentication. And when the coin returned from the grading service with a designation listing all the major errors, off-metal strike, off-center, double die obverse, die clash, cud, partial collar, and a grade of MS64 red-brown, collectors around the world took notice, and what followed was a fierce bidding war that culminated in a final sale price of $260,000 at a high-profile numismatic auction. A record-breaking figure for a 2001 Lincoln cent and a testament to the power of multiple converging errors in creating immense collector value, and since that sale, the coin has been studied by experts and featured in multiple publications, documentaries, and exhibitions as a perfect example of how even the most advanced minting systems are not immune to error, and how those errors, when properly preserved and authenticated, can transform an otherwise mundane coin into a priceless artifact. And perhaps most importantly, this coin story serves as a powerful reminder that treasure can still be found in everyday life, that incredible value can be hiding in plain sight, and that the key to unlocking that value is awareness, curiosity, and a willingness to look closer at the ordinary, because this 2001 cent didn't come from a bank vault or a hoard of ancient coins, it came from a pocket full of change at a grocery store, and the only reason it was recognized for what it was is because someone bothered to pay attention, to question the obvious, and to seek out answers. And that mindset is what defines the heart of the numismatic hobby, a community of explorers and storytellers, of historians and investigators, united by the belief that every coin tells a story, and some stories are worth more than gold, and as long as coins continue to be minted and circulated, errors will continue to happen, errors that may seem insignificant at first but can end up reshaping our understanding of what's possible and what's valuable. And the 2001 1-cent coin that sold for $260,000 is a shining example of that truth, a beacon of possibility for collectors everywhere, and a call to action for anyone who's ever wondered if they might have something special sitting unnoticed in their pockets. So keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and your passion for discovery alive, because the next great numismatic legend could be just a penny away.